Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome. My name is Bronwyn and today I'm going to be doing a fun little tag just so that you can get to know me a little bit better. So the tag that I'm doing today is called There's More to Me Than Makeup, and I thought that this one would be a really fun one to do because on my channel you mostly see beauty and makeup and sometimes fashion videos as well, so I thought this would be fun so that you can see sort of the other side to me and the other things that I do in my life that aren't related to beauty and makeup. So if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe so that you get notified when I post new videos, and let's get on to the questions. So the first question is, do you go to school? And if yes, what is your favourite subject or what is your major? Now, I don't go to school anymore. I finished high school 4 years ago now, and I finished university last year, although I will be going back at some point. I don't know when yet. But my favourite subject at school was either music or German. I was quite good at both and I like to be good at things, so that's kind of why I enjoyed those. And at university I studied music and my major was called musicology, but basically my major was just music education, so teaching music to other people. Question number 2 is, do you work, and if so, what is your job? Yes, I do work. I'm only working part-time right now though. I kind of have 2 jobs. So one of them is a piano teacher. I just do this privately, so I think I've got like 7 or 8 students that I just see either once or twice a week. And then my other job is after school care, so again this is privately. I just do it for one family. They've got 2 kids and I pick them up from school and I take them home and look after them at their home until their parents get home, and that's a lot of fun as well. So I really like both of those jobs. They're really enjoyable. Question number 3 is, do you read, and if so, name a few of your favourite books. Of course I read. Does anyone like not read these days? I don't know. But anyway, I'm kind of stuck in a rut with young adult books. I'm starting to get into proper adult books now, but I wouldn't say that I've found any that are my favourites. So my all-time favourite books are the Harry Potter series. I've read them so many times. And as well as that, I also love the Chronicles of Narnia, and I really enjoyed the Hunger Games series as well. Question number 4 is, can you cook? Yes, I can cook. Question number 5 is, do you have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have 7 siblings. I have 1 sister and 6 brothers. My sister lives in Christchurch, which is in the South Island of New Zealand, and I'm in the North Island of New Zealand, so I don't see her that often, probably once every year or 2. And then my brothers are kind of scattered around New Zealand, and a couple of them are not even in the country at all. I have one brother in England who I only see maybe every 4 or 5 years, which is really sad. I have another brother in Australia who tries to come over every year, but he doesn't always manage, so I probably see him every year or 2 as well. And then the rest of my brothers all live in New Zealand. One of them is literally down the road from me, like I could probably walk there in 20 minutes. So I see him quite often, but the rest of them sort of live a bit further away, and I would see them more than once a year, but not that often. Oh, and I should mention I am the youngest of my family, so my siblings are all like quite a lot older than me, so they had mostly all left home by the time I was old enough to remember living with them. So I was basically brought up as an only child because I don't ever remember living with my siblings. Question number 6 is, do you speak any other languages? Kind of. I used to speak Russian fluently. Like I could speak Russian the same way I could speak English. And the reason for that is that I lived in Ukraine with my parents for 5 years. So from the time that I was 5 until I was 10, we lived in Ukraine. So Russian was the language that I spoke to everyone except for my parents there, because everyone spoke Russian there. But I've pretty much lost all of my Russian now. Like I can remember words and I can pick words out of sentences, but I could never put a sentence together and I couldn't really understand a conversation at all anymore. But I also studied German at high school, and I did a 2-month exchange trip to Germany while I was at high school, and I wouldn't say that I was ever fluent at German, but I could hold a conversation, and I would say that my German was like mediocre, so I can kind of speak a bit of German as well. Question number 7 is, if you could holiday anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? I would probably say Japan for this, because it was supposed to be my last holiday with my parents while we were living in Ukraine before we came back to New Zealand, but my parents got really sick and we ended up not being able to go. So like I was really looking forward to it at the time, and even now that it was 11 years ago, I still haven't been yet and I still really want to go. Question number 8 is, what is your idea of a perfect date? I would probably say a picnic in summer, because I hate being cold, so obviously I want it to be summer. I want to be sitting in the sun because I like to be really warm. And picnics is just really chill. Like, I like the fact that you can just sit and talk to the person that you're with. I don't understand the whole movie date thing. Like, you don't even get to talk to the person that you're with. Like, it's fine for me and Jonathan now because we're married, like we know each other and all that stuff, but I can't imagine like going out with someone on a first date to the movies and just like kind of sitting there like, oh, I can't even talk to them because the movie's playing. So I just don't understand that at all. So yeah, I would definitely say a picnic. You got lots of yummy food. I love food. And yeah. Question number 9 is, what is your dream career? And this one is strange because honestly, I'm not career driven at all. Like, I'm a very family motivated person. I've always wanted to have kids. I used to want to be a musician, which is why I studied music at university, but I'm not hugely driven by what job I want and things like that. All I know is that I want to have kids, and what I would love is to be able to work from home so that I can like spend time with my kids. Because I hate the fact that, you know, when you have kids, sure, you get like 2 or 3 months maternity leave or whatever, but then you've got to go back to work and your kid's like 2 or 3 months old and you've just got to put them into a childcare centre. Like, I don't think that that's a great way for your kids to start their life. I would much rather be able to stay at home, like preferably the whole time until they're 5 and they're going to school. I would love to be able to stay home for that whole time. Obviously though, you can't go 5 years without working, which is why I would like to work from home. I mean, secretly, obviously I want to be a YouTuber. That would be perfect because I could work from home. I would work for myself, you know, I wouldn't be answering to anyone else. I could work at my own pace. I could work whatever days and hours that I wanted. It would be perfect. But some other options that I am thinking about are piano teacher, because obviously I'm already a piano teacher. Right now I go to my students' houses, but you know, if I were to have kids, I would work from home. So my piano students would all come to me, and that way I would save time because they could be here one right after another, whereas right now I have to allow like 10-15 minutes to get from one house to the next. Another option is doing childcare from home, and again, this is suitable because I already do childcare, and right now again I'm going to their houses. But if I were to have kids and to want to work from home, I would just get the kids to come to me for the day. So whereas now I'm doing after school care for children that are already at school, if I were to do childcare from home, it would probably be children that are younger than school age, so they haven't started school yet, and that would be awesome. Question number 10 is, are you athletic? Do you play any sports? Do you work out? Or are you a couch bunny? I would say I am not athletic and I do not play any sports, but I do work out and I am an active person. So I go for a run probably most days. I'd say maybe 4 to 5, sometimes 6 days a week. And I was doing a personal training session once a week as well, but I'm not doing that anymore just because my trainer's situation has changed and he's not able to do training anymore. But I do still do workouts from home, so I will usually do them after I come back from my run in the morning, and I just kind of do whatever I can do at home. I don't use equipment, it's just, you know, whatever I feel like on the day. And I also love going for nature walks and hikes and things like that, which is not a regular activity. Like, I don't go every Sunday or anything like that. It's just kind of, you know, when we've got a couple of friends that are free, we'll go out for the day. And yeah, so just whenever we feel like it, really. Question number 11 is, what are my 3 favorite things that are not beauty or makeup related? So I'm not sure if this answer actually counts, but obviously Jonathan, my husband, is one of my 3 favorite things. Like, if I want to spend time with someone, it's going to be him because he was my best friend even before we were even dating. Another one of my favorite things is definitely animals. I am obsessed with animals. I used to think that dogs were my favorite animal, which is, if you've seen my tattoo, I'll just show you. I've got this like dog paw print on my shoulder. And that's because I thought the dogs were my favorite animal, and then I got my cat and I felt really bad about the tattoo and I was like, no, it's not a dog paw print, it's both. I really love all animals, but I would have to say I'm probably the most obsessed with dogs and cats. I do have a dog as well, but she lives with my parents now because I couldn't bring her like while I was renting. So yeah, she lives with my parents, and I've still got my cat, who is gorgeous. And my third favourite thing was a bit tricky to pick out because there are a few things that were kind of, I like them equally, but I think my third favourite thing would be baking because anytime I've got a bit of free time, I just like to do some home baking, and then it's yummy and I like eating it afterwards as well, so that's definitely a bonus. And the very last question is, what is the best thing about me? And this is a really difficult question to answer. I'm sure it is for anyone because, you know, you don't want to sound like you're bragging. You always want to be modest, and if someone's like, tell me the best thing about you, and you're like, well, blah, 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 then it sounds like you're being really like cocky. But I did have a little think about this before I turned the camera on, and I think the best thing about me is that I'm completely devoted to the people that I care about. So out of my friends or family, if there's someone that really needs help, I will completely drop everything to help them. Like, it doesn't matter. I will cancel my work. I would skip uni while I was at uni. You know, I would just completely drop everything and be there for that person. In saying that though, there's probably not that many people that I would actually do that for. It's just the people that I really, really, truly care about. So obviously for Jonathan and for any of my siblings and for like really close friends, like there's probably only another maybe 2 or 3 people that I would do that for. So those are all the questions in the tag. Hopefully you learned something new about me, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. And I'm going to tag Sian Marie, Ellie from SilverFoxxBeauty, and also JenniiferLouiise to do this video next if you haven't done it already. And also anyone else that hasn't done this video, if you'd like to do it as well, then I tag you. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you next time. Bye! So I've forgotten her name.